these are the 3 outs for 2025. Number 1 is don't sleep on the CRM. Most of you out there are straight snoozing. When you look and know how to analyze your CRM, there's so much data and insights in there that can make you an even more proficient seller and be better at building pipeline. When I was an SDR, the main reason I hit my number is because I knew how to analyze reports in my CRM and know exactly what type of companies and buyer personas to go after. So go take a course, go get a certification for a CRM. It will help you in the long run in 2025. Let's go to number 2, which is don't rely on one channel. If you're really great at LinkedIn, that's fantastic, but your prospect may not be as active on LinkedIn. So that's why it's important to go cold call them, email them, direct mail. Don't randomly show up to their house, but you can use other channels to get in front of these people, right? So don't rely on just one, multiple. The third thing is you want to make sure that you're not using AI just because it's AI. The biggest obstacle I see most reps running into is they're like, oh, we have AI. I can just tell it to make a great email and it'll do that. No, if you have bad inputs, you'll have bad outputs. If you have great inputs, you'll have great outputs. And so that's why you want to make sure that when you're using AI, you're using it the right way. Don't use it as just a random thing to amplify what you're doing if you don't exactly know what you're doing. One of the best things you can do actually is ask whatever it is, ChatGPT, Claude, etc., to create good prompts for you so that you can replicate your success as well. These are my 3 ins for 2025. Number 1 is using AI as an accelerant. Now, when people use AI, they think it's a genie, you can just put stuff in there and it's gonna have good outputs. This is the absolutely wrong way to do it. You want to accelerate things that are already working. So one of the examples I always give to people is if you have good emails that already worked, put it into AI so that it can analyze all the good emails that you have, and then it can replicate more good emails for you moving forward by putting in the research that you found from other companies. This is how I write most of my emails now. The goal is to get it 80% of the way there, so then 20% I can then personalize. So I think that will be in if you use it appropriately, but if you use it wrong, you didn't hear that from me. So number 2 is that what we're gonna dive into is understanding the region. You need to know what's going on, what pop culture is happening. For example, if you are selling into Europe, and as we're making this video a couple months ago, the Euros were happening. So you should have been very knowledgeable on what was happening in each country and how things were going on. And then if you were extremely knowledgeable, you would have known, hey, you probably should have been reaching out to people in Spain since they won the Euros, right? So understanding the region, understanding and doing the research of the cultures is gonna be insanely important because people want to connect with people, and obviously once you know them and you can relate to them, they're going to want to know more about you even more. The third thing is tonality. Now, one of the things I did in this past year is actually hired a voice coach to be better at my tonality, my voice, my tone, my inflections, and everything. I'm not saying every single person needs to go to a voice coach, but what I am telling you is to practice your tonalities. How you say things is more important than what you say. And so when you know how to say it and how to say it the right way, people will be able to lean in, they'll be captivated, you'll be more persuasive, right? And these are the things that we need when we're cold calling and selling. So I'd highly encourage you to practice your tonality. Best way to do that is look in the mirror, practice your cold calls, listen to your calls, figure out how you're doing certain tones on those sales calls, and that's how you're going to improve across the board.
My outs for like 2024 in terms of what I probably won't do much more in 2025 is spray and pray. When you send sort of generic emails, I feel like you don't get the replies that you're looking for, but it's also because you're not putting in enough effort to like personally connect with that persona or that ICP in particular to what they care about. And in 2025, I'm definitely looking to push more personalized work. So that includes adding a PS, just bringing a lot more personality into the conversation, because you've always got to hit their pain points and things like that. But to be different, to stand out, you've got to be a bit more creative, think of other ways to get in front of them, try and catch their eye out a little bit more in 2025.
I think what I'm not going to do anymore is cold voice notes on LinkedIn. I feel like some people don't know, it's a bit too direct sometimes. They think they want to build a bit of a rapport before you send a voice note about what we provide. And I think into 2025, I'd send more videos and I would call the prospects, using a kind of opener of we have just connected on LinkedIn, so kind of initially they can be kind of a bit more familiar with us in that sense.
I think historically the way outreach has been in the past has been kind of pretty easy sailing, but now the shifts in industries, you have to be a lot more tailored and a bit more strategic about your approach. I think what we can leave behind is that simple kind of understanding that the more calls you do, the more results you get. So that shift between quality and quantity. And now I think we're going to see a more focus in 2025, moving into quality of the outreach becoming the biggest winners. And when it comes to that, Of course, elephant in the room, I think we're going to see a lot more salespeople leveraging AI tools to be a bit more strategic, a bit more hyper-personalized, do account research and make sure that quality of 2-3 minutes that you have on the phone is as relevant as possible. You can cut through the noise. So yeah, I think the biggest shift we'll probably see is more focus on quality over historically the quantity.